Now, a Target 12 investigators exclusive. Where's the chief? It's an undercover investigation, months in the making. Our findings raise serious concerns about safety and accountability in the Coventry Fire District.
You won't believe the undercover video we gathered on the man in charge. Time and again leaving work in a town vehicle paid for by taxpayers to go play golf in another town for hours on end. We spotted him drinking during the day, then driving the fire department vehicle back to work. We even have him taking the public safety vehicle to party up on Federal Hill, drinking and apparently smoking marijuana before once again getting behind the wheel.
This is you smoking what looks to be pot.
Cigar, maybe.
You then share the cigar with your friends there?
I don't know.
That's a cigar?
Yes, it is.
You know, I got to tell you, Chief, no one's going to buy that.
Despite all the video we gathered throughout the course of this extensive and wide-ranging investigation, Fire Chief Paul Labadia denied any wrongdoing.
Target 12 investigator Tim White has the exclusive findings.
Unlike many of our stories on government waste, there is no time clock to punch in this case. Chief Labadia's contract says he's on call 24 hours a day with a taxpayer-funded vehicle to respond to emergencies. But as we're about to show you, that lack of accountability opens the door to questionable, even unsafe behavior.
This is Target 12 undercover video of Coventry District Fire Chief Paul Labadia. When we first went undercover, it was a Friday at 12:45 in the afternoon. Labadia's assigned fire chief vehicle is parked outside a local pub, and he's inside enjoying a beer.
Are you done?
Yes, I am both of them.
After finishing his drink, he leaves.
Have a good day at work.
Labadia then gets behind the wheel of the fire department SUV and goes back to the fire station. During months of surveillance, we learned Labadia was an avid golfer. We would often find his Coventry Fire Chief's car parked in the lot of a Warwick Country Club. Labadia, who has been the fire chief in Coventry since 2008 and takes in a full-time salary of just over $72,000 a year, was found at the course day after day, swinging away. Over just 4 weeks, for example, Target 12 found him at the golf course 10 times, never for less than 3 hours. Sometimes up to 6, even 7 hours at a time. He'd then get into the department vehicle and drive back to Coventry. Police records show Labadia was involved in a weekend car accident while behind the wheel of the black fire department SUV, putting it out of commission for a while. So we saw him switch over to another fire department vehicle. As soon as he was in his new taxpayer-funded and fueled car at 3:52 in the afternoon, he again heads to a local watering hole where he stays for about an hour and a half. The change in car did not mean a change in habits. Like on this Friday, while his men were in the street, boots in hand, collecting money for muscular dystrophy, Labadia was hitting the links, arriving at 11:30 in the morning and sticking around until 6 p.m. When not hitting the links, we often found the chief at home during the day. Then there was Columbus Day on Federal Hill. Target 12 found the chief and the fire department's black SUV, fresh from the repair shop, parked in a lot behind Atwells Avenue. And Labadia,
another sausage and pepper up, I need 2 now.
Working a sausage stand for a family member's restaurant. In the afternoon, he starts drinking beer. Day turns to dusk and he continues to consume. Then we switch over to our night vision cameras. We watch as he refills his drink, this time sangria, later back to beer. Meanwhile, another Target 12 camera was keeping an eye on the taxpayer's fire department vehicle. To our surprise, we watch as another man accesses the SUV, reaches in and works on something in the front seat while looking around. 2 others join him, and the mystery becomes clearer when we watch as he licks the object, then moments later lights it, smokes it, and then shares what appears to be a joint with the two other individuals, a joint he apparently rolled after accessing the chief's fire department vehicle. After he walks away, you can see here keys in his hand. The chief, meanwhile, is still enjoying the evening drinking beer. It's now after 1 in the morning and the party continues. We watch as a group of men with Labadie pass around what, again, appears to be a joint, and it eventually makes its way to Chief Labadie. He takes several drags and hands it off. It makes its way around the circle again and back into the chief's hands, where he takes another hit and passes it off. Here's another shot of him again smoking what appears to be marijuana. Then suddenly a round of beers for everyone and a cheers, the chief taking part in the libations, then gets behind the wheel of the fire department SUV and drives away. At this point, it was time to take our findings to Chief Labadie. In a wide-ranging interview, we began with his golfing.
Is there enough work for you here where you can go to the golf course so much?
Well, I would have to say that my work's done on a regular basis.
At first, he told us he's always working.
So you feel taxpayers should be confident about how much time you're putting in despite all of the extracurricular activities that we have?
Most definitely. I do my job. The district runs fine. I'm always available 24/7 when anybody needs me.
Then he claimed he takes half days, but he has not yet supplied his time cards to Target 12. Labadie says he answers to a 5-member fire district board.
And the board of directors, you think, will be comfortable when they see that you're at the golf course so much? They'll be okay with that?
Well, how much is so much?
A lot.
No.
Remember, in just this 4-week snapshot, he was there 10 times for never less than 3 hours.
Not at all. I may go there for lunch because I eat lunch.
A 7-hour lunch?
No.
Then we asked about his drinking at a local bar before going back to the station in the fire department vehicle.
We have you drinking at a bar on a couple of occasions and getting behind the wheel of the town vehicle and actually coming back here. How do you explain that?
I don't believe I was drinking at a bar, but I may have been at a bar with a couple of the people from the fire station.
I can show it to you just so we can refresh your memory here.
Yes, that's my deputy chief.
And that's you with a beer in your hand?
Yes, it is.
And you drove the SUV and came back here?
Yes, probably one beer, most definitely.
Then there was the night on the hill and the 2 men who had access to the fire department vehicle before smoking what appears to be pot.
Are you transporting drugs in the fire department vehicle?
Not at all.
What was going on there?
I don't know. I don't know who the 2 gentlemen were.
Keep in mind, the man who accessed the SUV is seen here with the chief later in the evening.
You're a little worried that they were able to get into the SUV, even if...
Yeah.
You're going to call the cops?
No, well, I don't know who they were.
Labadie became visibly uncomfortable when we questioned him about his drinking and apparent drug use before driving the fire department vehicle that night.
Why did you drink, and I can tell you it's more than one, and apparently smoke pot when you then get behind the wheel of your fire department vehicle?
I don't think I did. Excuse me 1 second.
No, I'd like you to.
Oh, all
I'd like
right.
you to stay. This is you smoking what looks to be pot.
Cigar, maybe?
You then share the cigar with your friends there?
I don't know.
That's a cigar?
Yes, it is.
You know, I got to tell you, Chief, no one's going to buy that. I think you and I both know that. So why don't we just talk honestly about what happened up there? And
I don't know. I told you I smoke cigars.
you smoke a cigar like this and then hand it to somebody else,
I don't.
and they hand it to you.
Maybe.
I gotta tell you, that's not going to float with people watching this. I reached the chairman of the Coventry Fire District Board, which governs the department. He tells me he can't comment until our report airs. We'll stay on top of this and bring you the latest developments. With the Target 12 investigators, Tim White, Eyewitness News.
We're not done with this investigation yet.
We've uncovered more questionable use of taxpayer property. Tomorrow, we show you how the chief was driving his taxpayer-funded car on a suspended license for more than a year and even used a department vehicle to go to his vacation home more than 3 hours away in New Hampshire. Where's the Chief continues tomorrow, starting on Eyewitness News this morning.